Fire, fire, fire.
Why is this the scariest predator of all time?
Some animals very clearly
Epstein.
got the
I mean,
middle
what?
finger from evolution. This, though, this is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtoothed, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess,
Holy
and
shit! Is that real?
and the ability to cryo sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace.
No. Go back. That's real? That's not AI? Dude, they really are dinosaurs. No, that literally can't be real. No. Bro, you could ride that thing to McDonald's. That looks fake to me. Like, I would immediately say it's fake. It's older than AI? Like, it's confirmed real. Like, this isn't like, oh, it's manipulated or something. That's huge. There's a little bit too close. Yeah, you could, like, go fucking run at him. How fast can crocodiles, like, fucking come at you, bro? When you get Tyler one of these, dude. Tyler one would look like this on his back, dude. Dude, this is, like, proof to me. If this is real, and this is not manipulated somehow, I genuinely think this is just like confirmation that they really are fucking dinosaurs. It's beautiful.
Hyperintelligence,
I love that.
parkour prowess, and the ability to cryo sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it. But it means this is an apex predator that can survive a fate with Elsa. Cause gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down.
That's
Or they'll just
cool.
stick
I
their
wish I
snouts
could do
above
that.
water and leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them.
Defrosted is crazy.
Gators will move around on days when it's warmer, but it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later. Because you're gonna
what stops it from just like chomping on your fucking leg?
learn that not only is the
Hell
main
yeah.
the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator. And whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. But real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept. I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary, and that includes its walnut-sized brain. Because crocodiles are intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to
Yes,
snatch their souls.
clever.
That would already be bad enough.
Clever
Without
girl.
The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman with prep time, except they've had 100 million years to plot.
I was literally about to say, like, honestly, evolution is its bitch.
The revelation is that the dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish, making the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chompy boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another
That's smart,
example where
yeah.
a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by two smaller crocs waiting. Now the implication there is somehow the giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this, it's just as expert Vladimir Dene will tell you, it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you. Their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours of watching crocs, and has witnessed things like a stronger,
This guy's the crocodile man, Crocodile Dundee.
Smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish. Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them. Chris Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator is capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat docks. What he described were two groups of gators, one in the semicircle formation driving fish to the shallows and using the boats to corner them, and the other group in the background resting. Or more
I'm not sure if I would be in awe or fucking terrified.
like waiting. Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would summon and take his place.
That's
this went on
so
for
cool.
hours until
I
it
don't
got
know. I
hot
find
enough
that
for them to
so
clock out
awesome.
and go their ways. But when Campbell
I find it so cool that like animals do genuinely behave like humans or vice versa. Like we really are like the apex predator. Like it's just awesome.
Back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't
Oh,
willing
he's so
to accept from a
happy. I like
prehistoric
crocodiles.
snapdragon.
They're
But
cool.
your ignorance
And
ain't bliss. In
alligators.
fact, it's what sustains them. In many spots in
I don't know if there's a way to know this, but when was the last time like alligators evolved? Like when was the peak alligator? Like it stayed the same for like millions of years at some point, right? Or at least thousands of years. Like when was the apex reached?
Africa and
I would love to
Australia,
know.
People are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and definitely not
Because they're
past
studying
twice.
them.
It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock
Yeah,
your daily
pattern
routine,
recognition.
and be predictable around
Even crocodiles got that bitch down.
professional
They're like
camper
sharks
means
that
the
don't
rock
need to
will take
change.
note,
Yeah.
just to ambush you the next chance they get, and they'll use very little energy to do it.
Ah!
It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with
That
no
is
regard
so
for your
cool.
research. And at worst,
Crows
your
do that
snappy studies
too,
your habits
and
enough to
birds.
put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes a crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most dangerous kind of croc is actually an investigator. But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be
I
a
don't know
living
about that
doormat if you
one.
don't have
I
the
am
hardware
not
to
smart.
back it up. And no
I'm a
animal has more
fox, I'm pretty
disrespectful
dumb.
hardware than a motion-activated bear trap.
I don't know. There's cool creatures. Holy, look at that snap.
The crocodile is the
Dude,
most
that
physically
edit goes hard.
unfair predator on Earth because virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you.
To
They have the
kill.
strongest recorded bite force of any animal at 3,700 pounds per square inch, making its
Wow.
jaw a steel trap capable of damage on par with victims of war. But Maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Crocs have death cones designed to keep prey in its custody, meaning if a leather log bites you, you have the lowest chance of escape, which gets
Yep.
worse when the croc proceeds to
I think I realized that when I saw that, I don't know, there was like a viral video that went crazy a couple of years ago of, this happens quite often apparently in crocodiles that are in captivity. One of them accidentally bit, I think a zookeeper or whatever threw a piece of meat near two crocodiles, and one of them whipped around. I think it was like in 2020. It was like during COVID. I remember seeing this. And it whipped around and bit the crocodile and started death spinning, which is what they do, like to get the socket loose and basically eat them to get the piece of meat safely off of it without, like, you know, having to work for it really hard. Yeah, it started death rolling and like just going, and then like the other, it ripped its leg or arm off, and then when it was done, like the crocodile ate it, and then the other crocodile that's missing a leg, it turned around and was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it was like as if it was saying, like, dude, you just chomped me, you idiot! You fucking killed me!
run. And with crocs being able to hold their breath
It's
for up to 2
crazy.
hours, trust that you'll pass tense long
This
before
video, I don't think I can show it on stream just because of copyright reasons. But I'll show it after. It's a cool video.
he does.
I actually don't know. Can I show animal? Like, if it's educational, can I show that? It's violent, but it's not like horrible. There's no gore. Like,
Thing with those teeth is
I don't
they're
know.
great for
I don't want to
grabbing,
risk it. But
useless
anyway,
for
just look it up
chewing.
yourself.
So
It's
they'll
cool.
slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any animal,
Yep.
the death roll.
The death
But crocs
roll,
also
yep.
have the most acidic stomach of any animal and can dissolve bones, horns, and bones. They're also bloodbenders, the heart
tasty.
that controls exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the carbon dioxide in it
Holy,
only makes
dude, it's the
acid more
perfect
corrosive.
predator.
And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bulletproof. Crocodiles are covered in
That's
osteoderm,
insane.
and armor plating blocks the teeth of other
Armor
animals from doing
plating?
damage, which is why there's more than one case of a croc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work
Holy.
is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that cancel out any disturbances made in the water.
That's
Basically
amazing.
cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile. The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot, so they also have a built-in thermostat. There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater,
There's also people who very much covet like alligator skin and make like clothes out of them or shoes and bags and stuff. I don't know if if there's like an ethical way to do it. I'm pretty sure it's all poaching, but like regardless, it just shows how cool and desirable such a material is, because it's honestly beautiful and it's durable too. Like it's not just for show.
Acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are
You
made
can
of
farm
mineralized
them?
bones, the minerals
Yeah,
will slightly
I guess.
dissolve if the acid gets too hot.
I'm of the notion if an animal can be trapped and it's ruining the ecosystem, that's where I would preferably, if like gun to my head, someone said like, oh Alana, you should buy yourself a fur coat or something. If the animal's like disrupting the ecosystem and it's ethically killed, like with a trap, or like it's I don't know, like it's found on the side of the road, I think that's fine. I don't know. Yeah, the ecosystem, the ecosystem, yeah.
Releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and raise the pH.
Invasive
Frogs are
species,
nature's
yeah,
level
depends.
babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up,
There's alligator season? I didn't know that. I thought they were a little bit endangered or something. There's hunting seasons that do that. Yeah, I think that's ethical because you need to keep like keep populations under control, otherwise it can get out of control, like deers and stuff.
20 feet long and pressing the scales at often over 2,000 pounds, it's not like they needed more handouts, especially when you realize, except for a tail.
Holy shit. This thing jumps out of the water and just chomps your face off.
That stores fat like a camel's hump, crocs are almost all muscle and look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal. Eyes nature put right
so
at the top of their
cool.
heads, so snappy lads can plot on your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few
Nictating
weaknesses still
membrane.
requires two-factor authentication, especially since they can retract their eyeballs. And like dolphins,
That's
crocs
so
can
cool,
rest half their
dude.
brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open.
They like have no weaknesses. I mean, other than like even he said at the start, he's like, yeah, they've just tanked gunshot wounds.
Studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision because, of course, they do. And
Yeah,
that's
why
not
the
even
fuck
most
not?
broken part of their
It's
vision.
a great time
The
to
fovea
farm.
is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him, that's you putting the image on your fovea. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat fovea means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head.
That's
if you still don't follow,
sick,
get
dude.
a book and try
What
to read
the
the entire
fuck?
page without moving your eyes once.
No,
and
you
realize how
can't.
much of a middle finger this creature's existence is, especially since the Titanic scale demon has cockroach levels of plot armor. Crocodiles
Yeah,
contain
I was about
freezing
to
cold,
say.
extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy
Ew,
metals.
poor
And with the diet of a morgue,
crockies.
they're
They deserve
resistant to
better than
nastiness like
that.
anthrax,
Ew.
cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth, botulism. They also have
What?
negligible senescence,
Dude, they're
meaning
fucking
they
resistant to
don't really
everything.
age the same way most animals do. It doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100. In fact, right now, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900.
He ate people, fathered 10,000 babies, and just turned 124. Meet Henry. Dude, he looks like a Henry, man. Dude, I want to pet up and pet his snoot. And if he chomps me, it's like, you know, it is what it is.
Like the year,
What a giga
which
chat. He
means
fucked
other
so
than a
many
Greenland
bitches.
shark, I don't think there's another predator.
How many
that can
wives do you
outlive a
think he
croc,
had?
and them being nature's favorite. Of course, some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer. And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health. And crocodiles' gut community manages to
That is true,
reverse
actually. They've
cancer.
done a lot of
An
studies on that in
experiment found
humans.
Their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells. Basically, it's a cancer to cancer, and now I understand why
Fuck
Buddy
'em.
from Spider-Man crashed out. Especially since it turns
Exactly.
out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail. Crocodilian
They're
blood
like
also goes hands
lizards!
with bad bacteria
Lizard,
and can
lizard,
dead
lizard.
diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a sense of irony. But that's a lot better than getting folded by some of the diseases
I mean,
out
you
there.
gotta have
There's some stuff
weaknesses.
that's sick.
Even Achilles had a fucking heel, alright? Like, come on. It can't be that OP.
Satan would second guess. Viewer discretion is advised, and this time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before I ruin your whole day. Your lack of action will be considered consent, I'm just saying. Last chance, you can still go back.
I'm
Alright, this is
okay.
on you. 3,
I'm not a
2,
baby.
Happy
Ah!
Halloween. I didn't even curse, I did gag a little. This is a deer suffering from papilloma virus, and it's usually not harmful.
Oh, humans can get that too, no? Yeah.
Unless you value mental health. But it can also cause Lovecraftian rabbits, with those affected seeming to grow tentacles. And if you live in Colorado, you've definitely seen these jackalopes popping up. And according to this article, the cutaneous quills are caused by the cotton
zombie
papilloma
rabbits.
virus. This is the
Yeah, look
worst
at The
thing
Walking
you can see
Dead,
while
bro.
a mile high. Because of the altitude.
No,
we
not
fear most what we
Pippa!
can't understand. And sometimes
It's
it
a
feels
virus,
like fear is the only
chat.
thing stories like these are selling.
We're going to
How that
Blight
story
Town.
is told could be the difference between being informed and building a panic bunker expecting the end of the world. That's where ground news comes in. Because if we're talking about a mutant
ground
deer
news
with
is
flesh
everywhere,
bubbles
bro.
for sanity's sake, you better be informed. Their app and website pulls from over 50,000 sources worldwide to give you context about each source's biases, reliability, and ownership. It allows you to
Biases.
compare how different outlets cover the same story
Your
and see where
biases,
the truth
chat, you
really
hear that?
lies. And with the rabbit story, ground news shows you over 200 sources, and that most of the reporting came from the left or center. If I scroll down, I can see all the articles, and the more sensational
rabbits are
headlines that will
political,
call them
chat,
Frank
remember that.
rabbits actually came from lower factuality sources. As you can guess, the higher rated outlets were the ones explaining what was going on. The internet's great for showing you things you'd otherwise be blind to, but it's also great for erasing context and mass-producing misinformation, which is
like
why
that.
ground news takes the
I like
mask off who's
misinfo.
really pushing the story to explain the inexplicable. And ground news was even recognized by the Nobel Peace Center for their efforts in media literacy. If you'd like
Nice.
a guide to navigate
Good for
random
them.
rabbit holes, no, not this one. By now, you already know I partnered with Ground News to get you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan I'm using. Make sure you go to groundnews.com/casualgeo or scan the QR code on screen to subscribe.
No
for
one's
only
safe
$5 a
from
month.
the
So
Ground
hopefully
News
I will
chat.
never have to look at that deer again. But you'll never see a croc with something like that. It just wasn't enough. Nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the
they're just
planet.
kind
Their
of. Oh my
abilities
god,
would
he's death rolling. It's so cute. It's such a cute little death machine, chat.
get them banned in any game. Like I
It's
said,
so
a crocodile
cute.
on
It's
a
a
stakeout
killer.
can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a
Wow.
5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why
That's
crocodiles can go up
insane,
to
man.
2 years without eating. God bless the bloke that breaks his
What?
fast. It means
I
crocodiles
wish I
can
could
wait out
do
the
that.
times
I could
would
do
surely
everything.
wipe
Do you
out
much time
anything
you
else.
waste
And now you
pooping
see how an
and-
aggressive snout managed to
and then
reject the same
frickin'
death
eating?
that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a ring, and the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really are the teacher's pet of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Also, crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard, or at least a Cuban croc will. And this is the one
Holy
time I wish you were
crap.
AI.
That's kind of cute how they run, too.
And whoever said you should
That is low-key kind of cute. Maybe I think crocodiles are cute no matter what.
run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is a myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror movie. You
Holy
could climb a
shit,
tree,
that's
except
fast.
they can
That
do
is a
too,
fast
because
boy right
honestly,
there.
Why not? They do everything else. And not only do they climb trees, according to scientists, they do it regularly, with them
Dude.
finding grown adults 10 feet in the
Dude.
trees and juveniles as high as
Dude.
30. School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus
Oh my
flytraps, and somehow a drop
God.
gator was an unmentioned possibility.
my
They can also
God.
climb fences of every kind. And again, you already know
Ah!
where this was taken. This is flagrantly Floridian.
Chat, I put my fucking hand up. God bless America. 07. 07.
I think now's a good time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard, meaning we just barely missed out on this freak being able to fly. Let listeners
God said, yeah, you know what? You're a little bit too OP. Maybe don't make it fly or something.
aside.
Dude, imagine you'd have to like watch for crocodiles flying out of the sky, chomping your kid's head off.
Another thing they can't do well is see underwater. Their aquavision is actually kind of mid. We're this far into this video, and we finally
I mean,
found
not
a
that
weakness.
ours was
Don't
great
get too
either.
excited, because nature overcompensated with something outrageous.
Their
Those spits
smell.
seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors, and it's how the ultimate predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water. It completely erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hog-tie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on a complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from, while you won't know
Wow.
where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert. And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to
Dedge.
0, they'll T-pose. spreading their legs and fingers to maximize an already broken ability.
What?
Speaking of fingers, their
Dude,
jaws
they're
are more sensitive than
min-maxing.
yours. A dinosaur beast
Oh, look at
breathing
him
like a
getting
nose cable. Let
scratches.
the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails.
Oh, yeah, that's, yep, that's the video, or one of the videos, I remember.
Like a starfish's arm. But the
Yeah, you
thing
can't
is,
show it,
bears
it's
are
literally
berserker
just like
builds
him
on
death spinning.
steroids. Cats are four-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about
It's
this
Lily.
semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator. Is there a single predator that generates more anxiety in other predators? Even cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death in the hit range
Oh,
of the
no.
reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull
Oh
sharks
my
actively
God.
avoid them. The
Dude,
crocodile is the
they're
worst kind of
ultimate,
predator,
man.
one with zero prejudice, which makes them a massive threat to the most successful predator of all time.
Yep.
Here's the thing, when a lion, tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never have to worry about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality, they're basically everywhere. It's
Yeah.
not that they actively go after humans, just
Don't
that they
worry, it's a
genuinely
dummy.
don't
Oh,
care.
thank God.
Which is why
I was like,
it's the
did I just
crocodile
watch
that turns
someone,
more
man?
humans into hashtags than any other large predator by a lot, and considering how and where they do it, that number could easily be higher.
Mamma
Even if you don't
mia.
get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, two Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile below. The
13
entire
foot?
night was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in. To
Oh
make it
my
even worse, thanks
God.
to a flood,
That
the
is
waters
terrifying.
kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught. The two
That is so fucked up. It actually, what the fuck?
would be saved, but only by helicopter.
They're still
Because
really cool, but
else
what
can you
the
do in that
fuck?
situation? Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan. The New Zealander
Wow.
also got stalked by a croc almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in, and
Oh
held
my
captive on
God.
Governor Island, where the predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water, and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave, and Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued.
Oh
That's
my
the horror of
gosh.
being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator
You have
of all
PTSD,
time.
you don't wanna
Because
be near
time is
water
their
after
greatest
that
resource.
shit.
You'll never
Low
have
key.
more of it than they do. And the fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and
Gustav!
well over 2,000 pounds.
Holy shit, as
Believed
much as a
because despite
car?
allegedly putting 300 people in past tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer croc was
He don't
never
give a
officially
fuck.
caught. And
That's
despite reports of his
amazing.
death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time, just waiting for someone to wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey. You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not see them for another year.
Yep.
It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the land before time
That's
left
insane.
behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth.
They're so
But of
cool,
course,
though.
it's just an
Fuck.
animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil, just forged by millions of years of character
Yeah, they do
development
whatever
and
the fuck
mass
they want.
extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin rode so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Now,
I
with them
love
it's
Steve
respect and a
Irwin.
very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the
Ooh,
landlord
that's
of
deep.
Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
Damn. What a metaphor. I mean, what a saying. That's so cool. They're so cool. They are cold-blooded. That's true, yeah. I don't know, man. Crocodile? That was a good video. Very fascinating. Learned some things that I didn't know.
Fire, 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 fire.